Yippee-ki-yay, Mr. Falcon.
That didn't feel loud enough. Hold on.
Yeah.
Yippee-ki-yay, Mr. Falcon.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
What up, everybody?
Bruce Wayne, Bruce Willis,
What a way to start.
John Travolta.
They have no context. That whole thing, I didn't hit record. They don't know what's going on. This is Die Hard December.
Yeah!
Woo!
Woo!
This is the first episode of our mini-series. This, of course, is going to start with Die Hard. The 1988 classic.
7 or 8.
Late
I want to say 8.
'Cause
8 sounds right.
Because I'm pretty sure... yeah, I'm going to look it up right now. Because I'm pretty sure Die Hard 2 came out pretty quick.
Pretty
and
sure
then Die
Reagan
Hard with
wasn't in
Vengeance-
office, but it was pretty close to when he was in office.
Yeah, because Die Hard 2 comes out pretty quick after Die Hard 1, and then With a Vengeance is like the year... Like
90, I believe.
93, I thought, but I could be wrong.
Or I thought Die Hard 2 was 90.
Yes, Die Hard 2 is 90. Die Hard 1 is 1988.
Okay.
95. Die Hard with a Vengeance is 95.
Yeah, I remember that because it was like, wow, where's the next...
When's the next?
Because Die Hard 2, we'll get to that next week.
Before we go any further,
Yes.
we need to address the elephant in the room.
Mm-hmm.
This is a Christmas movie, people. Okay?
I disagree.
How?
Because Bruce Willis said it's not a
It's
Christmas
a Bruce
movie.
Willis movie.
Yeah. And you know what? I like that answer.
If you reference the whole like he's going to a Christmas party, his wife's work. They mentioned Christmas several times.
Ho, 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 now I have a machine gun.
The movie ends... Well, I guess that doesn't necessarily mean it's a Christmas movie, but the movie ends with
a Christmas song.
Oh,
the weather outside is...
Let It Snow is traditionally a holiday.
And it doesn't snow in L.A. Smo?
Smo?
The fuck?
But yeah, ho, 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 I have a machine gun too.
Here's how I'll put it. I have no problem with anybody who considers Die Hard a Christmas movie. I have no problem with, and oftentimes I kind of feel like I should, with people who watch Die Hard over the holidays, like Rudolph. I just watched Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer the other day. I always watch that every year. Once.
I don't watch Die Hard every year for Christmas.
I don't either, but I mean, I could, and I wouldn't be mad.
I try and give like a rotation of Christmas movies that I watch. I mean... The Grinch, like Jim Carrey's Grinch.
Never seen it.
23-year-old movie. I watch it almost every Christmas.
Really?
Almost every Christmas.
I watch Rudolph every single year. Every single year, at least once.
But Die Hard is back in the
I
rotation.
fucking love Yukon Cornelius. I need to go get the supplies that I need to survive. Ham hocks, guitar strings, and gun and ammo.
Different argument for a different day if we ever do a Lethal Weapon miniseries.
Oh!
Lethal Weapon 1 is set around Christmas time.
Huh.
Because Shane Black loves to do shit around Christmas time in his movies. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I don't know.
Iron Man 3 is around Christmas time. Kiss Kiss Bang Bang is around Christmas time.
Yes, great movie. Great. Underrated movie. Yeah. Gay Paris.
So, yeah. I've seen this Die Hard 1...
I saw it in the theater.
I didn't get that.
I'm old.
Yeah, I know. But I've seen this hundreds of times.
You were born in 96?
93.
93.
I'm 30.
So came out 5 years before you were born. I was 13 when it came out. So, yeah, I saw it in the theater. I did moonlighting for my long box last week. So you guys who listen to the show regularly know that I am a huge Bruce Willis fan. Not so much the last like 5 to 10 years of his work, because a lot of it was, I think, hey, I need the work, or I need to work as much as I can before I can't anymore. I feel like he knew kind of, which I have no problem with him, getting in the work and getting paid and stuff. I have no problem with any of that. It's just I really I think Looper was probably the last new Bruce Willis movie I saw. But I've always been a fan of him kind of being that everyman and turning it into a movie star worthy career. I mean, he was a big movie star and still is, really.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
So when that came out, we wanted to see it because my family and we all watched Moonlighting and shit.
Yeah.
So we were big fans of Bruce Willis. I don't know when Look Who's Talking came out after, obviously. like way after.
Yeah,
But we went and saw that,
it's-
you know.
It's no surprise that this movie is what catapulted him to stardom. Because he is
Quick aside, underrated Bruce Willis movie, the most, Death Becomes Her.
great movie, fun movie.
But Die Hard,
But the thing with this is he's not in every single scene, but he's the lead. He's in 80% of this movie, and
fucking California.
he even in this first movie, I feel like he completely understands what he's trying to do with John McClane.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll talk about, again, we're not doing A Good Day to Die Hard. I don't know if this has been clear. So we're doing just the 4. Because I have a 4-pack, and I'm only watching
But
the 4.
we'll talk about the other 3 later. Right now,
But even in
Yeah.
this movie, I feel like he gets the character, and this movie especially, he feels like an everyman.
yes.
And he definitely doesn't feel like a superhero, which is what he becomes in the later movies.
Yes, a little bit, right? Like even Die
He's
Hard,
like indestructible. In the
even
later
Die Hard with a Vengeance. I mean, they tried to kind of go back to that whole, he's not indestructible a couple times in that movie, especially like with the cables. We'll talk about that
Yeah,
when they
we
try
get
to
there.
jump onto the ship and shit like that. But yeah, we'll get into that when we talk about that movie.
This is easily. I'm sorry. Like I hate to do this. If we were gonna think about maybe ranking him. I feel like no matter what, you and I are gonna put this number 1.
Why wouldn't we?
This is the best one. This movie is so good. It created a whole subgenre. You say Speed is Die Hard on a bus, or this is Die Hard on a blank, or Die Hard on a this, or Die Hard.
Taken is Die Hard with an old fucker.
I don't even know how to respond to that. But no, it really did.
The only one that even comes close is the third one with Sam Jackson,
and it's
and that's not as good. That's the only one that comes close.
it's good, but it's not as good as the
not
first.
nearly. No, it can't because it's
Yeah, and again,
Yeah.
it's because this wasn't. It's such a weird thing to think about that this did become a franchise, but this is a self-contained movie. Like there's a beginning, middle, and end. The story wraps up. It's done. And I think that the reason why it's so tight is because, fun factoid, A Good Day to Die Hard is the only Die Hard written movie
yes.
that has started as a Die Hard movie. Every other Die Hard is something like this is adapted from a book. And again, I think because it's that idea of like this is a single story. This is where this is happening. And then, yeah, of course.
I believe the main character in that book dies at the end. The Bruce Willis character.
I think, yeah.
It's there's differences. I think they're ecological terrorists in the book instead of like just whatever, robbers or whatever. I've never read the book myself. We should probably look it up and see what it's called because it's interesting.
Yeah.
But
yeah. I think that it's hard to talk about this movie in a sense because it is such.
It's so iconic in so many ways.
Yeah, and it's so many people have talked about it over the years because it's been such a good movie, and it still blows me away. Even in this viewing, which is like the umpteenth viewing of this movie, it still makes me laugh. It's still making me see things that I didn't see before. Like sometimes you forget how funny this movie is.
Yes.
There's a lot of like quippy 80s humor in this movie.
Yep.
And the best part about it is like this movie is oddly pro and anti-cop at the same time.
Yes.
Because any cop outside of John McClane is incompetent.
Yes.
Him and
Except
Reginald
for
Bell
Al,
Johnson
yeah.
are the only two. Al and John McClane are the only two competent cops in this whole movie. But what was it? What was the name of the book?
Nothing Lasts Forever by Roderick Thorpe.
Yeah.
And it's a retired NYPD detective. Joe Leland is visiting the 40-story office headquarters of the Claxon Oil Corporation in Los Angeles on Christmas Eve, where his daughter Stephanie Leland Gennaro works.
Yeah, they obviously changed that to be his wife.
Gruber and the terrorists kill Mr. Rivers and proceed to steal documents that will publicly expose the Claxon Corporation's dealings with Chile's junta. Yeah, so it's basically, Rob, it's the same basic plot.
Yeah, I also want to give a shout out to John McTiernan.
Yes.
Because to
He-
go
who
to
came-
go from Predator to this, holy shit, man.
Who came back
And the
for
third movie, yeah.
which is why the third one even comes close. Let's be honest.
Because he gets it.
Dude, the second one, I don't know who directed that, but
I can't remember.
the fucking second one was directed by a studio hack who was given a recipe and then a bunch of ingredients, and he fucked up the recipe.
But
he was given the ingredients for rhubarb pie.
Save it for next week. That's the
Yeah.
next step. That's the next one.
You're right. Let's tear it apart when we're actually talking
Yeah,
about it.
come on, man.
Come on, man.
Just keep building up the first movie.
Fucking California.
Yeah. Yeah. Go to the coast, have a few laughs.
Yes.
I will say,
now I know what a turkey dinner feels like.
it is fun to see a younger Bruce Willis, and I like
You know what's a fun? Okay,
how much, like I said, how much he controls.
There's
this
a
role.
lot of trivia, or there's a lot of fun ways to watch Die Hard, and let me give you an example. How watching his clothes get darker and darker, because he starts off with like khakis and like a white wife beater. Sorry, a white tank top.
Well, even before that, it's like a button-up shirt.
But it's light.
Yeah.
And as the movie goes on and everything,
he loses more of the clothing.
where he loses more and more, but it gets dark. It gets darker from all the fucking gunpowder and shit that he's shooting and everything, and just sweating and all that other stuff, bleeding. Oh God, that part where he's pulling the glass out of his feet.
I also
still
love,
fucking makes me cringe.
Well, and I love how tightly written it is. How everything has a payoff.
Yes,
Everything.
there are no loose ends.
Yeah.
And Hart Bachner is fucking classic. Hans Bubby. I just give him to you.
He's fucking coked out of his mind.
Isn't he fucking great?
Han.
Bubby.
Bubby. Well, even before
I'm your
that,
white knight.
Yeah. God. They're just Han's
I must have
situation,
missed
he's just
60 minutes. Please continue.
Keeps snorting coke the whole time.
Right, yeah.
But like
Show him the watch. It's a Rolex.
Your first time seeing it, you don't pick up at the beginning. Like everything has intent, and when he's like, "Oh, first thing you do, take your shoes off and make little fists and curl your toes," and then he's shoeless the whole movie, which I hate it. That's one thing I hate about this movie. It drives me nuts because he's barefoot.
Every time you see it, no matter how many times you've seen it.
Oh gosh, when he's pulling the glass.
No matter how many times you've seen it. Yes, that one always makes me cringe because the effects are really, really good.
Yeah.
But also, you know he's not gonna, but just please remember your shoes this time. You're about to leave that room and your shoes are right fucking there. They're right there. They're right there. They're right there. Take the time. But you know what, though? He takes the time to grab his shoes. He's dead. And we know that.
So he had to go shoeless.
But every time I watch that movie, there's a part of me that's like, just grab the fucking shoes, man. Don't do it this time.
Of course, Hans is great. Alan Rickman on IP. I will say this: what's fun about again this viewing?
Yes.
Getting another thing out of it. It is kind of funny how quickly Hans kind of fucks this whole thing over. Like he tried the general consensus when you think about this movie is like Hans is a cool, calm, got it together. No, he isn't. John McClane does two things and it fucks his whole plan. And because of his ego, he dies. Because like there's multiple times where that big blonde dude is like, just let me kill this dude.
Yeah.
And it's it is is it a trope? But you know what? There's a reason it's a trope because it's effective and it works. And it's, again, so well acted and so well written that you still believe, you buy into his bullshit. You believe that Hans has still got it together. But if you watch, he's always nervous when he's talking to John. He's not, and it's...
Yeah, even when it's just on the walkie. Now, do you know how John McClane knows that Hans is Hans when they finally meet? Have you ever read that?
What?
Do you remember when he's talking to the cops and he's talking about they're mostly from their clothes and their cigarettes? I know they're European.
Yeah, the cigarettes. Yeah.
Hans' watch is very clearly German-made watch. And John McClane notices that when he hands him the smokes. Or when he gives him the cigarettes.
But, generally you would think it's when Hans finally pulls the gun on him. He's like,
well, no, because he knows.
He knew the whole. Yeah,
he knows the whole time.
And that's what makes the scene so good because they each know each other's identity, but they can't reveal it to each other. And it's like, again, a simple concept, but it's executed so well.
The tension in that scene and the acting between the two you think? Oops, what do you think of fucking stupid Hans?
Yeah. Or dude, some of these, like, again, I forget how fucking funny this movie is.
It is really funny, dude.
When the fucking sergeant shows up, who, by the way, that dude is such a great character. Paul Gleason is amazing character actor because every time he shows up, he's just an angry dickhead, and he's great at it. And dude, Reginald VelJohnson is so good in this movie. He's so good in this movie. Like, the best part, it's still one of my favorite lines, and every time he says it, I was like, so damn good.
Yeah.
Where he goes, man, why don't you smell what you're shoveling? And I'm like, what a line. What a line. Reginald VelJohnson.
Paul Gleason's best line in that movie is when the roof explodes, and they've been dealing with these two fucking jerk off FBI dudes the whole time, and nobody likes them because they're dicks.
Yeah.
And he just goes, "Ooh, guess we're gonna need 2 more FBI guys, huh?"
Yeah.
And he's just always classic. But
one of my other favorite ones is when he goes, he said that, yeah, I'm not the one who got butt fucked by the
Glass. Who gives a shit about Glass? I'm not the one who just got butt fucked on national television. And Deborah White, who's in the limo, is like, ah.
Yeah. Dude, can we talk about how that dude is just hotboxing this shit? Like, they never show him smoking a joint, but it's always smoky looking. Like, that dude's high as shit in the back of that limo.
And he's a hero, and he ends up being... He's one of the best parts of the movie.
To that one... Can I
complain?
This is a nitpick. This is a nitpick. Look, I don't give a shit how good that song is. That song is not... One, is not that long. Two, you're going to tell me this dude was listening to the same song that long?
Weren't we just talking about him hotboxing?
He just kept restarting it.
He might have completely forgotten that it was on repeat.
He didn't rewind the tape. And that's
they do have a CD player, so he could have put it on repeat.
Oh, maybe.
Remember what he's talking?
But it's a great one.
We got everything in this. We got
Skeletons
CD,
in your
DVD.
closet.
He doesn't say DVD.
That song is amazing though.
It is.
Get you to come outside.
Yeah, it's a great song.
Dun, 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 dun.
I love it when he talks to the bear. Shut up. He's just a good guy, and like.
Oh, and can we talk about when he's fighting the big blonde dude? And he just, while he's fighting, he's like, "Yo, your brother put up a better fight when I was choking your brother.
I'm gonna fucking beat you, and I'm gonna choke you, and I'm gonna eat you."
Again, him being a human and making that work in this movie, and that's what adds to it, is he gets his ass kicked by that big blonde dude for most of that fight.
A lot.
And and that's what makes it so good, is most of the time...
How the fuck he survives at the end there, too.
John McClane, whenever he does something, even when he does something well or good, he still gets fucked up. Like he's, like you said, another piece of clothing gets ripped, or he gets glass in his feet, or
He finally pulls off the very end. He pulls it off perfectly. Shoots the guy right in the fucking forehead. Gets Gruber. Right?
Blows the gun.
Gruber's got a hold of his wife and her watch.
It sets up everything. Who bought her the watch? Bubby!
But just like you're saying,
Executed.
like he pulls off everything perfectly, but shit.
Yeah, he still fucks up. Yeah.
He pulls off everything perfectly and gets out of the building and is going to, meet his wife and the
blonde
cop,
dude is somehow died. He there's no way he's alive.
He's not.
He choked him.
He just cannot catch a fucking break.
Yeah.
John McClane.
And that is what's always been like, and then that's kind of always been the staple of the series, where at least those first 3 movies where it's like, God damn it, like the second movie, we'll get to that when we get there, but that's one of its faults, where even in that movie itself, he's like, I'm in the same, how'd this happen again?
He says it a bunch of times. Like, really?
Yeah, we know, because you're doing the same beats from the first movie.
Yeah, you fucking, yeah.
But no, this again, to wrap it up.
Next time you have somebody, don't hesitate. Boo, 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 boo.
Good advice.
Thanks for the advice.
Yeah, thanks for the advice.
By the way, Bruce Willis lost a lot of his hearing from that scene, filming that scene, because the gun was so fucking loud under the table.
Yeah, but again.
But dude, Hans Gruber's or fucking the actor, Alan Rickman, his performance with Takagi is flawless.
Yeah.
Is so tensile strength, man. When he does the thing with his mouth, Mr. Takagi,
Yeah.
And he pulls out the gun, and he's just matter of
Fine,
fact.
we do it the hard way.
Yeah, he's just matter of fact. He's just
Well, the scene with the you said his name, the Bubby, that guy.
Hart Bachner.
That
I can't remember his
that scene
character's
with
name.
him. is-
Ellis. His name is Ellis.
Ellis.
Fucking tell him you don't know
Yeah,
me.
that scene is so good because of Alan Rickman's performance, and that again. This movie is so good at showing and not telling, and you can connect the dots.
When he
finally is like, "Don't tell, you don't know
tell
what
them
you're
you don't
doing.
know me.
I
Yeah.
know they'll kill people. I know this. Like, listen
They
to
tried
me.
to kill me, dude. Like, I'm trying to tell you,
I've
this
been
is not a
dealing with
fucking.
these
This is not a boardroom fucking.
I'm a cop.
negotiation.
I've been in
Yes.
these situations. He's going to kill
the
you.
involuntary blink because they show Bruce Willis when they're doing the thing, and the involuntary blink when the gun goes off and he knows that he's been shot.
Yeah.
The desperation at the end.
when
Go fuck yourself, Hans.
Yeah. When Hans talks shit to him, and you could tell.
Where are my detonators?
Again, it's a great scene because it makes you like John, and it ties you closer to John because it's like even with Ellis being a cokehead piece of shit, he didn't want him. He didn't deserve to
No,
die.
he doesn't want anybody to die. He's a cop.
He's a cop. He's a good cop.
Yeah, let's quantify that. He's a good cop.
But again, after that, and then Paul Gleason trying to blame him and smell what you shoveling, man. He did whatever he could to save that guy.
Another great
Oh, the
part.
donuts part too. It's for my wife. She's pregnant. Right.
Another great part that shows what an everyman and how you can relate to this is when he's trying to set up the plastique with the computer and everything,
Yeah.
and he starts putting them in like all carefully, and then he just grabs a handful and says, fuck it, and just puts them all in.
Yeah.
Dude, how many times have you been in that situation where you're trying it, but you got to do it quick, and you just fuck it, and then he just ties up like, take this under advisement, jerk off.
Yeah.
And another favorite part is they're all German ostensibly, and at one point during the part where they catch McClane, it's right after the moment where they're talking and they realize that Gruber's Gruber, McClane's McClane, and he's running away, and the blonde guy shows up and they're shooting all the glass, and he says to him, "Schieß Fenster," which is German for shoot the glass or windows. Fenster is window, glass.
Yeah.
And the blonde dude's like, huh? And he says it in English. Shoot the glass. How the fuck do you gotta say it in English? It always bugged me.
I feel like they had to do that to be like just to say like in case people didn't pick up.
Of course, there was a movie
They
version
couldn't-
for
or
it.
they could have just subtitled it. But whatever.
But because of that, I love that they never subtitle any of the German because they speak German
you're
a
not-
lot.
Yeah, because you're John in this situation. You're not supposed to understand what they're saying.
Right. It's not important. And anyway, it's not important to us, the audience, what they're saying. All you need to know is that the tone is villainous.
Also, yeah, go ahead.
But the tone is dark and villainous, so it can't be anything good. They're saying,
Or the fact that another thing too, it also helps change the tone of the movie because it adds to that intensity because it went from like the first part of this movie, there's a legitimate like marital drama happening, and then the next thing you know, boom, we're in Die Hard. Like
as in Helsinki, Switzerland, Finland, right?
Yeah.
We haven't even touched on the reporter guy, which I don't care to. I do. He's a
great
great part of it.
Whoever plays him is really great at being a Weasley piece of shit.
Abusing ghosts, but I want to give a big shout out to Bonnie Bedelia, who not only is one of the best, like, I don't even want to call her damsel in distress because she's clearly like way more. She's got her wits about her way more than even the terrorists do throughout this whole thing. You know what I mean? She's like, I know John's out there and I know he's gonna save me, so I'm not too worried. And she's kind of a badass in this movie. I want to give a shout out to her because that performance and that character makes the movie also. Because you're like, look at the kind of people they are. They're both people who get stuff done. She's taking care of the people who are held hostage. He's taking care of all the other stuff. You know what I mean? They're not the kind of people that sit there and watch shit happen like the rest of everybody in that movie. Basically.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's it.
Oh, and gotta say it because it's still one of my fucking favorite parts. There's so many favorite parts in this movie, but when they're flying in the gunships to the building, there's a couple of different funny parts where the two Johnsons are talking, but there's one part he's like, too, just like fucking Saigon Slick. And the guy turns around, he's got this big shit-eating grin. He's like, I was in junior high, dickhead.
Yeah, I was like, what is that? Also, I love how it's levels of incompetence. There's like John McClane, and then the LAPD, and then the FBI. Like those, like LAPD sucks. The FBI is even worse.
Right? Oh my god,
it's amazing.
Listen,
cut the power! Cut the power to this giant
shit, it's
tower.
my ass. Yeah, no shit, it's my ass. Listen, these guys are not fucking around. No, but I brought up the page real quick because I wanna bring up a couple. Alexander Goodenough, who actually took his own life in I think the 90s. Great character actor who's been in a ton of shit and always great. We talked about Clarence Gilliard, the Theo. He's awesome, you know, when he's pulling out all the stuff and he just, you know, whatever. But then there's another. Go ahead and talk. Do something so I can look this up.
I don't know what you're looking up.
I'm looking something. So talk so I can look it up. Robert Davey is also a great character actor. He was in Goonies. He's one of the Johnsons, one of the FBI guys. But
what?
When they send in the car, and there's the one point where it looks like the cops are just laying around going after they get shot. Like there's no. Why are they still just laying there? Why aren't they leaving the area? Why are they still just laying there shot? They should move. But
what's your name? Roy.
And the LAPD have themselves an RV. It's Christmas, Theo. It's a time of miracles.
All right.
We'll be sitting on a beach earning 20%. And I love you, Alan Rickman.
Do you know when he falls, that's his genuine reaction?
Yeah, because they
didn't let him know that they were doing the takes.
I read that
like a legitimate look.
I read that a couple years ago. That they, I think they said like 3 or something.
He was scared of heights, and they dropped him from a high pot. Well, you know, it was the bad.
Have you seen? There's a shot taken from the ground of the.
He threw him off the tower.
No,
I'm kidding.
It's a crane. You know, one of those things that they have a platform on a crane, and he's hanging off of it with somebody holding on to him or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's about 25 feet in the air, and obviously he's got, you know, the big stuntman balloon below him. But yeah, that would fucking freak me out too, dude. But yeah, they said like 3, 2, 1, and we'll drop you on 1, but they did it on 2 anyway.
Yeah. So he's like, he's legitimately frightened.
And that fucking facial.
Hey,
hello.
I'm looking at you.
This is Alan Rickman.
This looks better because they dropped him. All right, I'm looking at you, Paul Verhoeven. Didn't look like a weird claymation model with really long arms in RoboCop. That's what I always think of when I see that fall. I look at like 1 year later, a much better shot. It's crazy to think about.
I mean, if you got the technology.
Well,
to make it look real.
Well, and Alan Rickman is...
Oh, I hope that wasn't one of the hostages.
Yeah, that made me laugh so freaking hard, dude. I forgot about it.
Gleason's got some great moments in this movie, you know.
Sometimes I feel like he's in a different movie.
I'm not the one who just got butt fucked on
national television.
Glass? Who gives a shit about Glass?
Put the other guy back on.
Pretty fucking unappreciated, Al. I love you.
I love the best part is I've heard it a million times, but the welcome to the party, pal. After he just like, well, he's not looking at me, he can't see me, and he just chucks a dead body at him. Again, this movie is a lot funnier than you think, like you remember.
Well, we're dealing with human lives, and we know it's a movie, so nobody's lives were really lost.
It's a terrorist. It's
in
fine.
That context, it's funny because you know, like it's a dark humor to be sure. The part where they're setting up for the cops, and the Asian dude like is getting ready, and then he sees the candy bar, and he's just like,
yeah.
That's funny. That's funny.
Yeah. Yeah.
Feeds the ball to Worthy. Bam! 2 points. When they kill the guy.
Who's the one dude looked like Huey Lewis? It wasn't, but it kind of.
Yeah, no, I know who you're talking about. He's the guy who played the shit. I got $50 riding on those assholes.
Yeah, he's the one who talks to Al.
Yeah.
I would like to think it was him. So in my head canon, it is.
What?
That is Huey Lewis. It's not, but in my head canon, it is. Because in my head canon,
If this is it,
this is Die Hard.
Because I'm not a real front desk representative.
This is it. Parodied to sing about Die Hard. If this is Die Hard, please let me know.
Oh, holy shit. It's Die Hard. Because I'm fucking John McClane and it's real tough.
In Nagasaki Tower.
Nakatomi.
Nagasaki? What?
To finish
Where did I
out,
get that?
Go ahead and if you can, if you have Brooklyn Nine-Nine anywhere, please go and watch the episode where the team travels to L.A. to get an award for, I think, the chief, and they use the opportunity to go visit Nakatomi Plaza because Jake Peralta's favorite movie of all time is Die Hard. And it's a really funny episode. It's really funny if you have the chance to check that out. Other than that, I was going to say go fuck yourselves.
Well, we'll see you next week
jerk.
with Die Hard 2, Die Harder.
My colon's going to die harder?
Hey, man, there's only you know what?
Stop eating so much red meat.
They should have committed. Should have been Die Hard 2, Die Harder, Die Hard 3, Die Hardest.
Yeah, but what do you go after Die Hardest?
Dead.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
Offpanelofftopic with Jake and Tyler.